Good morning and namaskar to Honorable Cheema sir, Khanna ma'am, our chairperson, our MD Sai Kiran Khanna sir, Pushpa Narang madam, our director, all the trustees, our vice principal, our head of the departments, faculty, and my very most hearty welcome to all of you. First of all, a very sincere and heartfelt thanks to KS Cheema sir for enlightening the whole gathering, particularly the students. Sir, being a principal, you are aware about the sensitization of the students, and KB College generally take a lot of effort in celebrating every event which is associated with our culture. And I feel every day is a celebration because there have been so many great people. The whole land is full of the greatness and the greatest of the thoughts one could ever have globally. And that is one day today, the most celebrated day of Sir Gurunanak Jayanti, which is a Guru Parab. And as you are aware, being a teacher and being a principal, what is the status of a guru in our Indian culture? Thank you, Cheema ma'am, for having arranged it at the last moment. I believe you are aware of what you have done for us. So it's a sincere heartfelt thanks to you. Sincere thanks. I feel that I shouldn't come in between the students and the faculty and the respected and the enlightened and the most intellectual person on the topic available for us today. So we are all waiting for your thoughts about Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji and his thoughts, his philosophy, his education, and I believe perhaps that is going to make a huge amount of change in the life of our students, because at this sensitive age, whatever we get, it brings a change into the heart, mind, and the brain of our young generation. So over to you, Cheema sir. Most welcome once again. Please.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Now, we are really to have our esteemed guest and resource person and speaker of the day, Dr. K.S. amongst us. I personally would like to give a big thanks to sir because he has saved me today. And he is the family friend, guide and philosopher for a very long time, and always guide us, inspire us on any of the topic. He is like
when he was going to be so-called baptized or going to be, put that particular thread, he refused. He said no. The man or an individual should not be recognized by wearing the thread, but more so by actually by his actions and by his abilities. So you can just see that age of 7 and 11, this young boy, he started questioning the various beliefs and practices which he perhaps believed in those days that had no logical sense behind it. So his inquisitive, he was so inquisitive that why such practices, rituals, ceremonies, and superstitions are being followed by the people. He started questioning the very logic behind following those particular practices. Well, going by that, we also know that certain other very interesting things happened in his life. His father particularly was very much upset with him. He said that this young boy, he should have taken up the very business of the family. He was basically a revenue collector of the village, and his father wanted him to follow the profession of the family. But then he, just to put him at the young age, to put him into some kind of business, there are 2-3 things which I wanted to tell you, that which the people call it as a kind of a miracle. One day he was grazing his cattle, and the cattle, and while grazing the cattle, he sat under one tree, and he was sleeping under that tree, and sun was definitely falling upon, sun rays were falling upon his face, and the people who were otherwise near about, they saw that a big cobra was covering his head with his hood, so that the sun rays could not directly disturb the very sleep of Nanak. And in the meantime, they found that all his cattle, they damaged the crops of the neighboring landlord. And the people, they ran to the landlord's house that Nanak's cattle had totally destroyed your crops. It's better you come and see. Rather than coming to see the crops, he went to Kalyandas. Boy is very negligent. He said that he has left open his cattle, and cattle have destroyed my crops. To their surprise, Kalyandas and that landlord, they all came, and to their surprise, they found that nothing was missing, nothing was damaged. The crops were as intact as they were before, and they were also very surprised to find that the cobra was covering the head of the Gurunanak. When the people started coming closer to him, of course the snake disappeared and he got up. He said, it also shows that while grazing the cattle, perhaps he was meditating on the name of the God. Well, perturbed a lot by this young boy, his father thought that why not to give him some money to start a business. He thought it right because he himself was a small-time businessman and a revenue collector. So he thought, let this boy get engaged in some kind of business, and that will keep him busy. In those days, Kalyandas gave him 20 rupees to go to the nearby city, purchase the merchandise, and open up a kind of a shop in the village, which will keep him busy all the time. Well, this boy took 20 rupees. He started walking, and about a few miles away, on the way, he encountered about a few sadhus who were walking towards his village. And when this young boy saw those sadhus, they told him that they are feeling very hungry. They want to have the food. And they were quite in a number. Nanak said, okay. Nanak had gone to the nearby so-called city, purchased all the eatables required, and gave them the food. Entire money was spent upon that. When he came empty-handed, surely like a common father, Kalyandas rebuked him. He said, where are the goods? What you have done with my 20 rupees? And he told him very truly that I found that giving food to those mendicants, those sadhu, was more important than opening up a shop. Then I believe, and I also give you a point to think, that don't you think that those 20 rupees were such a good investment that even till today, that feeding the needy, feeding the hungry is a tradition followed at that young age by Gurunanak, is being followed by all the Sikhs all over the world, and what we call the institution, which is so popular. And I personally think, as a small-time historian, that investment really did not go waste. It really brought about very good results in the modern society, which is a lesson to be learned by all the communities, that serving the needy, serving the poor definitely is an act which is loved by the God. Well, going ahead little, when all these things they failed, Guru Nanak's father thought that the best way to keep this boy busy is to get him married. and the very young age, he was married to a, a young girl whose name was Sulakhni. Sulakhni belonged to a very historic place called Batala. Batala is in a district Gurdaspur, and I can very well say that it is my city to which I belong. And it was there that Sulakhni and Nanak, they were married. They had two children, Baba Shri Chand and Baba Lakshmi Chand. And Nanak had two children. But anyway, that was his householder's life which he carried, and which I will come down little later to tell you that how he was a different saint than all other saints. Coming down to Gurunanak, in 1499, when he was 30 years old, at Sultanpur. Sultanpur is a place near Jalandhar. At Sultanpur, where earlier his sister was actually married over there, and she requested Nanak. I'm going a little back so that the picture becomes more clear for all of you. His sister, she thought, okay, my father remains always so angry upon him. So she called him, and there, the very, one kind of a landlord who had a big business, had a big store, divan of that particular area. So he was, on the request of the husband of his sister, he was employed over there to keep the record of all the goods which are supplied to the people, to keep the record of all the accounts, what we generally call in account to the store, without measuring, he will keep giving the goods. And the people were quite amazed also, and people felt, some of the opponents of Nanak, they also felt that this boy will definitely destroy the ultimately, Diwan came to check the store one day, and before went without anything, you are just giving the goods to anybody, and neither you keep any account, different caste groups. All right. So definitely with that kind of a mission, you are likely to create a brotherhood, you are likely to create a peace, and you are likely to create not only peace, but peaceful living and creation of love and all. Another point which I wanted to tell you was that he had a very big discourse with these people who basically wanted to, you might have heard about certain a class of mendicants who will renounce the world, go to the jungles and meditate and disappear from there only. Guru Nanak's mission was that what is the purpose of this when the mankind is not getting any benefit out of your meditation? Guru Nanak was of the view that you need not to renounce the world, you need not to meditate in the jungles or on the mountains or in the hills. You can live a very pure, simple life of a householder, and you can utter the name of the God and realize Him. Perhaps you will not come across such a simple, such a straightforward teachings which Guru Nanak had propounded and tried to teach to his subjects. And friends, he was, many people, many historians, and many, not only the Hindu, Sikh historians, many have written. You might have heard the name of Allana Iqbal, Muhammad Iqbal, who originally belonged to Sialkot of that Punjab. He had written about a poem about Nanak, and he called Nanak as Insane Kamil. वो तारीफ नहीं कर सकता था कि नानक was such a personality. Insan Kamil was the title given by Iqbal also in his poetry. Anyway, that is not. Guru Nanak lived much beyond that. Guru Nanak's teachings are very simple. And after about 12 years of journey, friends, he finally settled down at Kartarpur. You may be knowing that recently Kartarpur was very. दोनों ने फूल रख दिए, right side Hindus, left side Muslims. And he said in the morning, you come and check me, check these flowers. They were all waiting eagerly. Next morning, English date referred to 22nd September 1539. In 1539, when the early morning, when both the communities they came, they just removed the bed sheet and they found all the flowers. He told them कि जिसके फूल मुरझा जाएंगे वो मेरी बॉडी नहीं ले जा सकेंगे और जिसके फूल खिले रहेंगे वो मेरी बॉडी को जैसे भी चाहे वो कर लें. When both the communities came in the morning, they found that the flowers at both the sides they were fresh, but the body was not there. Body had disappeared. And you just see the significance of this event, that even at the time of the death also, he never wanted that the Hindus and Muslims, they should indulge in some kind of a conflict. Rather, they should live in harmony. About a little time later, the Hindus, they built a temple, and the Muslims, they built a graveyard. And it is said that about 1 or 2 years later, there was a flood in the river Ravi, and graveyard as well as the so-called tomb, which they had made, the Muslims have made, and the Hindus, the kind of a temple which they had erected, with the flood, both it disappeared in the water. What I mean to say, this particular event also has a significance that let the Hindus not, preach Nanak in a different way and Muslims in a different way. Friends, even till today, the Muslims, they regard Nanak as their peer, and Hindus regard him as their gurus. So this is how Guru Nanak had, spent his life for the humanity, for the humankind. Shall I leave little time, Cheema, for interaction?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
If anyone is interested, I have narrated a few of the events. I can keep on reciting his Gurbani, but that will be out of the way. But if anyone is interested to know a little more, I will be very happy to interact.
Yes, sir. It was really wonderful session, sir. Wonderful, lecture or guidance to our students as well as faculty. If anyone wants to interact with sir or have any doubt or want to know more about Guru Nanak Dev Ji, they are welcome to ask the questions or interact with sir. Any one of you? Sir, I think it was very simplified teaching so that our students can understand. You have vast experience of teaching, so you know the pulse of our students, that how much they can take it from it and how much they will understand from this deep philosophy of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And we are really delighted to have you, sir. And this was really a really wonderful session. And we'll remember it for a long time. And definitely in future, again, we would like to hear from you, sir. Now,
Okay.
yes, sir.
Yeah, continue, please.
Sir, we are now very fortunate today that Mrs. Cheema is also with us. So I would like to request her to speak few words on this occasion. She is a very close friend of mine, and
Okay.
I know she won't refuse it. Yes, sir.
No, but before she speaks or she would like to speak, I definitely will like to thank all of you for giving me the opportunity, particularly to the dear students. I know that it's very difficult for the students to focus on online, but on such occasions, it is so interesting, and I'm too interacting after a long time with the students, particularly, and all the teachers. I mean, your staff, your principal. I'm so very happy for having given me the time. Seema Jha, as you are a family friend and a very good person, a very gentle woman, I'm really so very thankful to you for
Sir,
giving
it's my
me
pleasure.
the opportunity for giving this small lecture. I hope I have been able to justify it to a certain degree. Thank you very much and wish you all very, very happy Guru Nanak Jayanti, very Guru Purab of Guru Nanak. This is the 551st birth anniversary of Guru Nanak. And I सबको बहुत बहुत बधाई हो इस particular दिवस की. And I wish you and your college all the best. Thank you very much. So nice.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Sir,
Now,
there is
Mr. Cheema.
live telecast is there on YouTube, and many students, hundreds of students are there on YouTube watching you and listening to you. Sir, live telecast is going on YouTube. Sir.
Thank you.
Yes, I welcome Mrs. Cheema, Ravinder Kaur Cheema.
Thank you, Seema. And I don't think there is anything which I can speak after your favorite sir has spoken, and the in-depth knowledge which he has. Definitely, I don't come. I am nowhere close to that. But at the same time, I would like to wish you all very happy Gurpurab, and to your management, staff, and the students. And it is sometimes really very interesting that the students should know, certain aspects of the various religions, because generally we don't interact or we don't, study these aspects from our syllabus point of view also. So the students are not in touch with this. So these are the only occasions when we can enlighten them, we can bring them closer, we can give them the teachings of the gurus and of all the religions as such. So that is what just I would like to say. And a good initiative, Seema. Really, I was happy that colleges should really take up not only Guru Nanak Purab, but all such kind of events where students can then have a free thought to what religion is and how to compare, or whether the whole gist of all the religions is one. So they need to understand that particular aspect, and that is how we can reduce the lot of anger and enmity in the communities and in the societies. That will allow the students to grow and think on those lines. So that is the only way that we can give. That is the only thing what we can give to the students. What is very important is humanity, love, brotherhood. All the religions teach the same thing. It's only how they follow and how they interpret it. Teachers, it is our duty that we show them the right path, and then leave them to decide after studying all these various aspects of various religions. That is what. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity. I was a helping hand to sir because he's not very familiar with the technology. So that is how I am there to help him out. Thank you once again. Thanks to all.
Thank you, Ravinder. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry that I didn't introduce Ravinder
It's okay, please.
to my students and faculty. She is the Associate Professor of History in GN Khalsa College, having again more than 25 years experience in teaching graduate and postgraduate students. And the best thing is that she's always there to help us, to guide us. She's a very good friend of mine, and even Deepak sir also. So
Yes.
we are close associates of history department. So I thank you, Ravinder, from the bottom of my heart.
Always for you, Seema madam. Always.
And they are like parents to me.
Right.
Seema,
Yeah,
they are
yes,
like parents to me.
yes. One thing I would like to say here, Seema ma'am, if you allow, just for information, that Khalsa College have set up the Sikh Heritage Museum, which right now it is closed because of this pandemic. And once the thing, bring your students for a visit to the Sikh Heritage Museum, and we also have the Sikh Heritage Museum conducting the basic course in Sikhism. So those students who are interested in that for the credit courses and all, but at least they can all visit the museum, and you all are also welcome at the moment the things are not. So that is the initiative which I have taken and on behalf of the history department. So that I wanted to
Thank
share.
you so much. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you have made our day today. You have made our day today because in this whole thing we are not able to go to the Gurudwara. So this is where it was wonderful
Hello.
being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ravinder. Thank you. Pleasure is all mine.
मैडम मेरा एक फंक्शन चल रहा है अभी 15 मिनट में खत्म होगा वी कैन टॉक आफ्टर सम टाइम ओके ओके ओके
Our director, Madam Pushpa Narang, Madam, is also with us. So, on behalf of IQAC and the entire college and students, we would like to thank you, Madam, for joining this session. And we are really very, very happy with your gracious presence in this session. Thank you, Madam. You are always there to guide us.
Always.
Pushpa Narang, Madam, who is the director of Excelsior Education Society. She is also there with us. So we would like to thank Narang, Madam. Thank you, Madam, for joining this event. Now, I request Dr. Vinayak Rajesh sir to propose vote of thanks.
Thank you, Seema. Good afternoon to all the respected dignitaries, faculties, and students. It gives me an immense pleasure to propose vote of thanks on this occasion. I would like to thank our guest, Dr. Cheema sir, for accepting last-minute invitation and for sharing his thoughts of Gurunanak ji, which will be helpful to us in our lives. I express my gratitude in absentia to our chairperson, Dr. Harsh Khanna Madam, for providing an opportunity to celebrate this auspicious day. I extend my thanks to our Managing Director, Dr. Sai Kiran sir, and Director, Mrs. Pushpa Narang Madam. I am very thankful to our ever-encouraging, motivating, and dynamic Principal, Dr. Renu Trivedi Madam, Vice Principal, Dr. Sumati Balachandran Madam, and IQAC in charge, Dr. Seema Jha, for taking initiative and making this event successful. Not to forget the support of IT team, without which it wouldn't have been possible to run this program smoothly. Last but not the least, I thank all HODs, faculty, and students for their active participation in this event. Now, I request everyone to stand up for national anthem. Thank you.
शुभ नामे झाड़िबे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे।